After that incredible intro, welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator. First, we need to say a massive thank you to Nighthawk, who actually brought the game for me and the channel. I've always been a massive fan of simulators, but console users seem to be at a disadvantage with these kind of games in terms of control. Car Mechanic makes using a controller as easy as using a mouse. During this series, we'll play through the story, aim to achieve the Platinum Trophy, as well as doing special build episodes once we're more used to how it works. As always, if you enjoy the content on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. So here we are at the beginning with the tutorial. So we're starting on the story mode, normal difficulty. So from what I've seen, it ramps up as you go along. This is the tutorial. I thought we'd better have a look. I've never played this before. And our garage is very, very white. But I assume as this is the tutorial, that's how it's meant to be. First job, we've got to go to the phone and take our first customer order. Now, the first order for the tutorial seems to be the Salem 6W500 2016, 18, can't read. That seems to be our first order car. What is actually involved with this car? I'm not sure. I'm assuming it will just show us through what basic jobs we can do to start with. If you haven't seen anything about this game before, you slowly build up your reputation, you build up your garage, you obtain loads of different things, including being able to change colours of cars, fixing parts, repairing cars, test driving them, things like that. And we start off with bodywork. So the first job of the day is to actually remove the front left fender. Now, the big thing with the controls when it comes to PlayStation 4 is most of it is done on the X button. It's triangle for your menus and X to take off and put on parts. You just need to remember to hold it down. It will take me a little bit of time to get used to that. But that is the fender replaced with a new part. None of this is costing us any credits at this point, so we can just do what it needs us to do. Next, we need to have a look at the fluid in the coolant. And we need to remove the fluid. Again, it's triangle for the menu. And we go to our tool to remove fluids. Nice and simple. The reason I thought we'd do the tutorial was just because we haven't played before. I've seen several other people play on PC and I weren't sure how different it would be on PlayStation. So I thought it would be best to try the tutorial first. Now we're going to take the lid off and we can pour in some brand new fresh coolant. Nicely done. I wasn't 100% sure when to stop filling. I was actually playing this whilst chatting to Nighthawk when I was filming this episode. And he did say once the actual bottle lowers itself down, that's when to stop. I was letting it bubble over a little bit there. So next we need to lift the car up. And then we need to drain the oil. Luckily there's a tool for that. Here it is, the oil drain. Just need to move it underneath the car. And now to start with, I did think we had to find the plug. Then I realised we didn't have to. We can just use the equipment and it does it for us. We don't have to manually find the plug. We need to put the oil drain back to where it belongs. Nice and simple. There's no moving anything around, it's a click. And nice and simple. Next, if we click on the suspension, we need to look for the oil filter. Finding parts and remembering where they are is going to be the most difficult thing. I'm not very car savvy. I'm more a motorbike person, which is obviously the cause of my current situation of injuries. But it's nice to learn something new. So it will take me a bit of time to realise where things are and understand and remember. But we're just replacing the oil filter. And that is done. And now we can lower down the car. And see what is next. Right, next we need to look at the engine again. And it wants us to refill the oil. It's nice and simple. Oil fill plug comes out. Oil gets poured in. as I say, all on the X button. If this is something that you think you'd enjoy, I think it's currently £25 on the PlayStation Store. It's digital download. The benefit as well for console is there are several DLCs for PC users, and that's electric cars and Nissan cars. Now, electric cars seem to be included in the PlayStation 4 version, where you have to pay extra on PC. The Nissan DLC you do have to pay extra for, we haven't done so. We may probably go through the story and then we may add a DLC. They'll probably come out with more as well. We're just got to take the wheel off, and we need to change the tyre by the looks of it. So we need to go to tyre changer. Yeah, so it's something, if you look at 2019's Car Simulator, they added a lot of DLCs over time, new cars and things like that. So it's probably something they're going to add to. There wasn't a 2020 version, so it's probably on a 2-year life cycle, which means there could be quite a bit added as time goes on. So they're going to make the game more enjoyable. But it's a massive sandbox. You know, you just improve your garage as much as possible. Right, we've separated the tyre. The machine next to the tyre changer is actually a wheel balancer, which you use once you have put the tyre back together. There we go. The rim's not brilliant, but it doesn't want us to do anything to the rim. But brand new sports tyre on, and now it can put the two together. I've never actually seen that done before, so that's quite cool to see that. Now if we take this off the tyre changer and we put it on the wheel balancer, again this was my first time doing all this, so it was a learning curve for myself as well. There we go, line it up. I didn't actually realise I had to press the X button to actually balance it. It took me a couple of minutes to realise you move it to the green circle and the green triangular area, and then you press X. I didn't think about that. But the tyre is now balanced and changed, so I believe we can now put that back on. There we go, part mount, and then brand new wheel back on the car. Nicely done. So far, so good. I don't think we've made any major mistakes. And the speed that things are done up with will increase as we can get points later on, skill points, and we can spend money on new tools and enhancements for the garage itself. But you can increase your strength, increase your putting parts in it, on and off, undoing screws and all that. That can all be increased in speed. Right, we're now going to remove the sway bar on the front end, 2 screws, and then we're removing the shock absorber. Now, this is a new one. A couple of screws again, or bolts, probably call them rather than screws. And now we can take this to the spring puller. Now for me, I've never seen this before, so this was a new item that I didn't even know existed in real life. So as far as I'm aware, this will pull the spring, and separate the parts. There we go. It pulls or pushes, it's one of the two, but it separates the parts. So now we can put a new spring in place. So we need to combine the front shock absorber with the front spring, and then the shock absorber cap, and then the machine will just stretch it out to what it needs to be. We can take it off, and we can put it back on the car. Fairly simple so far. The game starts off really slow in terms of builds and things you do, and it slowly ramps up in difficulty. From what I've seen other people play, you can go as far as rebuilding whole engines from scratch. You can go to barns and recover cars and parts, fix them up, sell them on, or find an abandoned car at a scrapyard and do that up as well. So there's lots and lots of things you can do. Obviously, tutorial is going to only teach you the basics. The tyre is back on. That is that done. So now we are finished. We need to open the menu, car status. This generally will tell you what needs doing on the car. Some cars will tell you exactly what they need. Others won't. You have to figure it out for yourself. You have to do testings, find out what the car needs. But we've done everything needed. We needed to change the front spring, oil filter, sport tyre. Done those 3, they're all ticked. It tells you there how much money you'd receive if you had to do this for a story mission, and that is the basic tutorial complete. Now, as I say, there's lots of things you can upgrade later on, but that is our first episode finished. So I hope you enjoyed this intro to the Car Mechanic Simulator 21. Join us next time for the first proper video in our garage. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.